Wana basho nanda may maganadok, ishkate makasan kwandi shikaz mondo dem, bikajonan and dunjaba, Udawadami Odo and Nishnabi Kwandao, Niswi Medewin. Oh, I'd like to welcome you here to this territory, the Kedronan territory. It's the capital of the Three Fires Confederacy, made up of the Budawatami, the Odawa, and the Ojibwe, Anishinaabe. Oh, just like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today on this most wonderful occasion. The time when some of the individuals who have worked very hard to get to this place are going to graduate and move on into the future. And with that, I would like to say, always keep your dreams alive. It's good to dream. You made it here, and just follow those dreams wherever they lead you. So I would like you to take a few moments to center yourself and ground yourself so that we can be at one with the Creator of all that is, the way you understand that. So take these few moments and take a few breaths. That is, breathe in through your nose, you hold it, and you blow it out. Do it again, breathe in, you're holding it, and blow it out. So I'll say this prayer. Abba Shumashomas, Ishkute Makasan Kwandis Nakaz Mondo Dem, Bakajanon Dunjaba, Udawadami Odo and Nishnabi Kwandao, Nisvi Medewin. Chimigwachkajemnado for this most beautiful day, for this most wonderful life. Chimigwach for all that you have provided for us, from the sky world to the earth plane to the underground. For all of those Nokamasug and Mishomsug, those ones who have passed on, that walked on this land before us, I say Chimigwach to you. Chimigwach for the help they give us each and every day. Chimigwach for the sky and the sun, the moon at night, the stars in the heavens. I say Chimigwach to you. Chimigwach for taking the time to look this way so kindly with us. Chimigwach for the four colors of man, the yellow, the red, the black, and the white. Say Chimigwach to you for all of those directions, all those ones who have come here to live on your creation. I say Chimigwach to you. Chimigwach for our Earth Mother, Shkagamakwa, who is the one that provides the water we drink, the food we eat, and the air we breathe. I say Chimigwach to you for her. Chimigwach for all the sky world and all the thunder beings that are sitting over there, watching over us today. Chimigwach for all things, all colors of man, all things that are here. I say Chimigwach. Chimigwach for the animals, the four-legged, the two-legged, the winged ones that fly in the air, things that crawl on the earth, things that swim in the water. Chimigwach for all the plant life, the trees, the plants, the medicines, the herbs, the fruits and the vegetables. They're all here, so we can be at one with them at this time. I say Chimigwach for all of the songs and the ceremonies and all of the spiritual leaders that are across the land that help us and guide us in our direction that we're going. I say Chimigwach to you. Chimigwach for the birds, the animals, all of those things, the songs that they are singing for you right now. Say Chimigwach for that. Chimigwach, Chimigwach, Chimigwach. Take care of us and watch over us and keep us safe. Help us to understand who we are as people, humankind, because we are the last ones. We are the youngest that have come here to this creation. So guide us and help us do the work that we need to do for you, Gajemnado. Chimigwach for all the people who have come here this day, and watch over them and keep them safe from the inside out and the outside in. Help them be grounded into the earth, into who they are, their identity, and watch over them and keep them safe. I say Chimigwach to you, Nikanagana, all my relations. Aho. Bamampi minwa. Aho.
Welcome and thank you for joining us online for this extraordinary celebration of the class of 2021. I am so excited for all of you. Over the next hour, you will be a guest to one of the University of Windsor's most valuable traditions, graduation. Our ceremony will begin with the singing of the national anthem, followed by the reflection. Our Chancellor, Dr. Mary Jo Haddad, and our President and Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Rob Gordon, will address the graduating class. We've also invited a graduating student to provide congratulatory remarks. It will then be time for the most essential part of the ceremony, reading the graduating class names and the conferral of the degrees by the University Chancellor.
Thank you to Elder Kiknazwe from the Bikezawanang territories, also known as the Walpole Island First Nation, and an elder in residence within the Faculty of Law for sharing your words of welcome with us today. I want to take this moment to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territories of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Odawa, the Ojibwa, and the Potawatomi. And I remind everyone that there are very few places on this earth where others have not walked before us and called it home. I now call upon Lorraine Grondin, Acting Registrar, who will deliver the reflection.
This day marks a new beginning, particularly for those about to celebrate their graduation. It only fits that we come together to recognize your achievements and commemorate your success as you continue to your lifelong quest for knowledge and excellence. I ask that you take a moment to reflect on those who guided you along your path of learning, to appreciate our families, our teachers, our peers, the world in which we live, and all that inspires us. Please join me in a moment of silence to reflect.
Dear graduates, family and friends, and faculty, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our virtual convocation. We've come together today to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of the class of 2021, a remarkable and unforgettable year. Our graduates have been on a journey like no other. Determined to complete your studies under the most challenging of circumstances, prepared for a world who needs your wisdom and skills, your courage and resilience, your energy and your kindness. The days ahead are full of hope as we work together to build a safer, more equitable and prosperous world. The University of Windsor has provided you with the tools to embrace the challenges that lie ahead with confidence. The investments you have made in yourself, the relationships you have built, and the experiences you have embraced are important steps towards a promising and hopeful future. I have heard from some of you that there is an element of fear as you embark on your careers or the next phase of your education in a world that has been turned upside down. The inspiring Maya Angelou said that hope and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Invite one to stay. Hope helps us dream, to envision our lives and the narrative we want for ourselves. Hope helps us to see the opportunities among the challenges. It can drive our creativity and innovation. I invite you to choose hope. The best way to find ourselves is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi. There is no such thing as a small act of kindness, as kindness can change the world and have a lasting impact on others. Whatever the next stage of your life will be, find a cause or something that you can invest your energy in and be passionate about. No doubt you will find good people to work with, people you will inspire and who will inspire you. Kindness can be transformative, both as a volunteer and in business. Kindness builds loyalty and trust and rebounds, giving so much back to you in return. I invite you to choose kindness. As you continue to work toward your greatness, surround yourself with people who will enable your potential, who will broaden your perspective and offer you critical and constructive feedback. People who will infuse your passion, no matter what the cause, who see your potential, even when you may not. Courage will build your character and enlightenment. As a young nurse, it was the words of a young hospitalized child who before heart surgery said, "Don't cry, Mommy, it will be okay." Those words left me frozen in my footsteps, overcome with emotion and never clearer that I was doing the work I was meant to do. As a pediatric ICU nurse, every day is a challenge and yet an incredible privilege to work with children who are so vulnerable, yet so resilient. Their families so dependent on you to do your very best work, who put their faith and trust in you. Courage comes in all shapes and sizes, as the pandemic has shown us all too well. You can count on the need to be courageous as you take on new challenges, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace change. Courage will enable you to grow in ways that you can't imagine today. Choose courage. To our graduates, you have inspired all of us with your determination and perseverance. My heartfelt congratulations to each of you. Please remember to take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and have fun along the way. The entire University of Windsor community shares in the pride of your family and friends. Go forth and celebrate safely.
Thank you, Chancellor Haddad. I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining us today for the University of Windsor's virtual spring convocation. This is really an important moment for our university, and we are all thrilled that you are with us today. This year, families and graduates are joining us from just around the corner and from around the world, and it's truly a privilege to welcome everyone.
The Alumni Award for Distinguished Contributions to University Teaching is Professor Jasminka Kaladicic from the Faculty of Law. A scholar and expert in class actions in Canada, Professor Kaladicic has put University of Windsor students at the forefront of her vast work. In 2019, she established Canada's first class actions clinic located in Windsor Hall. The clinic relies primarily on students to provide advice about specific lawsuits and class actions to the public. Professor Kaladicic's passion for teaching and mentoring students can be seen in many ways. For example, she regularly coaches students in the annual moot competition against other Canadian law school teams. She has developed a cross-jurisdictional course on comparative class actions, which allowed students to collaborate across several countries through technology. Most importantly, her teaching philosophy mirrors her impact on Faculty of Law students. I believe people are the best when they are valued, Professor Kaladicic says. Ultimately, I hope to teach students about the importance of caring about their clients. Congratulations, Professor Kaladicic.
Board of Governors medals are awarded to the graduating undergraduate students who have achieved the highest academic standing in the faculty. From the Faculty of Law, graduating with Juris Doctor, Samuel Mizuka. From the Faculty of Law, graduating with Juris Doctor, Canadian and American Program, Katya Anna Piccoli.
I now present to you Dr. Laverne Jacobs, Associate Dean, Research and Graduate Studies, to present the award of Distinguished University Professor.
Hello, everyone. A distinguished university professor is a member of the faculty who already holds the rank of professor. This faculty member has distinguished achievements in teaching and a wide national and/or international reputation for their scholarship or their creative or professional accomplishments. Previous recipients of this distinction are listed in the back of the Convocation program. This year, the university is proud to announce the promotion of one of its members of faculty to the rank of Distinguished University Professor. That faculty member is Professor Myra Tawfik of the Faculty of Law. I am delighted to introduce Professor Myra Tawfik at the ceremony of her installation as Distinguished University Professor. Professor Tawfik is an exceptional researcher and an innovative teacher. She is a nationally and internationally renowned scholar in the areas of copyright law and capacity building in intellectual property, or IP, for a global innovation economy. She is also an award-winning professor. As Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies at the Faculty of Law, I had the pleasure of writing Professor Tawfik's nomination letter. I can tell you that the Faculty of Law and I are extremely proud of Professor Tawfik and her achievements. While the nomination letter that I wrote was 6 pages long and was accompanied by several glowing and lengthy references from arm's-length peers, my understanding is that I have only a few minutes, so let me give you an overview of some of the fantastic accomplishments of our colleague. Professor Tawfik has developed a long and impressive list of research areas over the 3 decades that she has been a faculty member at Windsor Law. Her complete list of research areas consists of copyright, trademark, and intellectual property law, intellectual property strategy, international intellectual property law, legal history, international trade and intellectual property, entrepreneurship, innovation, and law, and clinical and experiential legal education. Professor Tawfik's current research encompasses 3 main streams: capacity building in IP for an innovation economy, copyright history, and copyright generally, including comparative and international copyright. She is a leader in each of these areas. Through the first of these areas, capacity building in IP for an innovation economy, Professor Tawfik aims to ensure that entrepreneurs have the ability to fulfill their intellectual property needs by facilitating access to expert IP legal advice. In this area of research alone, Professor Tawfik has brought in over $31 million of funding to the University of Windsor. This is a tremendous amount of research funding, particularly in the field of law. Among her many notable outputs from this funding are a commissioned study, a massive open online course, and a book. In fact, Professor Tawfik has published 3 books, including a forthcoming piece of original archival research on 19th century copyright history. In addition, she has spoken at numerous conferences and given dozens of media interviews in her areas of expertise. The Financial Post has called her a prominent thought leader on IP education for an innovation economy. Professor Tawfik is clearly both a highly respected scholar and a noted public intellectual. Moreover, Professor Tawfik has played an influential role in advancing public policy at both the provincial and federal levels. It is a rare and distinct honor in the life of a law professor to be involved in the development of government public policy. Yet Professor Tawfik has been invited to contribute to public policy development in the IP field on numerous occasions. For example, in 2019, she was appointed by the Ontario Minister of Training, Colleges and Universities to serve on an expert panel to study IP commercialization in public sector academic and research institutions. Finally, Professor Tawfik has received many distinctions for her work. For example, she was appointed a senior fellow at the Centre for International Governance Innovation, or CIGI, in 2014. She received the 2019 Tech Researcher of the Year Award from We Tech Alliance. And as of July 2021, she will be the inaugural Don Rodzik Family Chair in Law and Entrepreneurship at the Faculty of Law. And before I close, let me say just a few brief words about Professor Tawfik's innovations in teaching. The brilliance and energy that Professor Tawfik displays in her research are mirrored in her dynamic teaching. Professor Tawfik is one of the earliest clinical and experiential learning professors at the University of Windsor's Faculty of Law. She began to incorporate experiential learning techniques into her teaching in 2004, long before it was common to do so. Her clinics help fill a void in IP legal services, as there are few IP lawyers in our region. And her clinics have brought together students in law, business, and other disciplines, such as engineering, for collaboration. Her clinical teaching pedagogy and its evolution over time, along with her sincere commitment to her students, have brought her several awards, including the University of Windsor's Teaching Excellence Award. Finally, as a person concerned with the well-being of the community she serves, Professor Tawfik has also created teaching materials for entrepreneurs. In conclusion, it's truly been an honor and a privilege for me to introduce you to Professor Tawfik. I cannot think of anyone more deserving of being appointed Distinguished University Professor than Professor Myra Tawfik. Congratulations, Myra.
This promotion to the rank of Distinguished University Professor is a high point in my career, and I'm truly honored and humbled to be recognized in this way. In the midst of this public health crisis, it's even more precious to celebrate a happy occasion and to share it with all of you who are celebrating your own significant achievements at this graduation ceremony. My heartfelt congratulations to all of you. I've been at Windsor Law my entire academic career. The law school gave me a nurturing home when I was just starting out, and over the years has provided a supportive environment for me to pursue my teaching, research, and community outreach activities. I'm grateful to all the colleagues, students, staff, both at the law school and on the campus at large, who've been instrumental in getting me to this point. I've been asked to tell you a bit about my academic work that has followed three connected pathways: intellectual property education for startups and entrepreneurs, copyright and international trade law, and copyright history. These areas of study might seem quite disparate, but they're actually all access to justice issues for me in the sense of access to knowledge and learning as a core human right. In all of my academic work, I've interrogated the ways in which the law and the way the law is practiced can either hinder or encourage equal access to knowledge and education. I've always been a bookish and studious person. I studied English literature in undergrad. I went to law school in part to remain close to books. For me, books, and in today's world, their digital manifestations, are the agents through which ideas are disseminated. In light of this, it's not surprising that my scholarly focus has been on copyright law, which protects literary works, among other types of human creative expression. In fact, copyright law emerged with the invention of the printing press that enabled the mass reproduction of books. In this way, copyright can be understood as the law of the book because it regulated book production to encourage the circulation of knowledge. My early work studied the ways in which international trade agreements entrench global inequalities of access to knowledge by making books and other didactic material unaffordable to many around the world. But I also found that access to knowledge was an issue closer to home. Local artists, inventors, and entrepreneurs struggle with the inaccessibility of IP legal services. In addition, they often lack sufficient know-how to do some of the legal legwork themselves. Over the years, I've set up clinical and experiential learning opportunities for law students to work directly with early-stage innovators to support their intellectual property and business law needs. I've also sought to empower the innovators themselves by developing and offering IP educational programs to provide them with the requisite knowledge to navigate the complex global IP environment. In this regard, I've been privileged to have played a role in provincial and federal policy development through the federal National IP Strategy and Ontario's expert panel on publicly funded IP. I'd like to devote the time remaining to speak about my copyright history work. I've spent more than half my career working on my own book on the genesis of Canadian copyright law so that I could add depth of understanding about the law's nature and purpose. It has taken a village of research assistants, librarians, archivists, friends, and family to bring this work to fruition, and I'm greatly relieved to report that it's currently in the hands of the publishers. This historical research brought me back to my undergraduate studies in English literature and back to books in ways I couldn't have imagined at the start of my legal career. I feel tremendous gratitude for this realization, especially as I get closer to the end of my career. Through this research, I discovered the wonders of the archives and spent many hours engrossed in 19th century letters and documents at the archives in Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City. However, the most memorable experience was spending 3 weeks as a visiting scholar at the American Antiquarian Society Library in Worcester, Massachusetts, which has a remarkable trove of documents relevant to my work. I also discovered a multidisciplinary community of scholars, book historians, through whom I have been able to see copyright law in an entirely different light. I have come to recognize that copyright's history is not the history of intellectual property law. Instead, its history is book history. I began to appreciate the physical book in ways I wouldn't otherwise have, and I discovered treasures along the way. Our law library has a copy of the first edition of a book on Quebec civil law that was published in 1832. This book was one of the earliest books to be protected by copyright under Canadian law. In perusing the book, I was amazed to discover among its pages an original purchase receipt dated May 1832, signed by the publisher. This receipt has remained wedged in this particular book for close to 200 years, and it traveled from Montreal to Windsor with who knows how many stops along the way. Every book is a material object that has its own special history. Most importantly, this research taught me that the past echoes in our contemporary constructions of the law. I discovered that the first copyright laws in Canada were enacted to enable teachers to print and publish school books for their students. You can't get much closer to access to knowledge and learning than that. And this understanding of copyright's origin story is more than merely of historical interest. There's currently a case before the Supreme Court of Canada. It will be heard on May 21st. Many of you may already know it. It's York University and Access Copyright. At issue is the extent to which university instructors can provide copies of reading material for their students without obtaining prior permission from the copyright owner. In its arguments, York University and one of the interveners, the Canadian Association of University Teachers, are relying in part on my historical research to argue that in order to fulfill copyright's educative function, the law must permit certain free and fair uses for educational purposes. In this way, my historical research has brought me full circle, searching through dusty books to unearth a lost copyright past to inform the law's future. This has been deeply satisfying and personally enriching work. I hope that you find as much joy and purpose in your careers as I have in mine. Thank you.
I'm truly honored to congratulate this graduating class. You have all known me as Professor, Associate Dean, and now Acting Dean. It saddens me that we're not able to do this in person and that I cannot give you the hugs that you deserve, and I really would have. But I'm hoping we can celebrate in person at some point in the future. I know that our relationships don't end here. As you are all very well aware, Windsor Law's mission to educate ethical and justice-seeking lawyers through teaching, research, advocacy, and service is very real. I know that all of you have learned or have already lived by these principles of being ethical and justice-seeking. I know that all of you will continue and transfer our values of being people-centered, community-engaged, dynamic, and inclusive into your law careers. As you have learned, law is an adaptive tool for social change. Our focus on access to justice and transnational law shapes our programs, which provided you with a broad legal education with unique opportunities to learn practical justice skills in a supportive environment that nurtures lifelong relationships. And believe me, you will have lifelong relationships with your graduating class. As alumni, we will continue to work together, and I look forward to watching you through your amazing careers. And remember, despite these challenging and traumatic COVID times during this past year, you did it. You've graduated. Congratulations. I'm so proud of all of you. And I commend each and every one of you for your perseverance, commitment, and dedication to complete your law degree. You've completed a major milestone. I am grateful that your families, your friends, and your communities have supported you, and I know that they will continue to support you in the future. I'm grateful to have been on this journey with you these past 3 years, and especially today, to celebrate your success. In my Mohawk language, I say, Ganalonkwa, with much love to you today and in everything you decide to do in the future.
To the master's and doctoral graduates of the class of 2021. Congratulations from the Faculty of Graduate Studies on this proud and special day. As you celebrate with your family and friends, reflect on all that you have accomplished. Your investment in a graduate education is a true investment in your future. 1 year ago, when you were transitioning into the final year of your program, no one anticipated that you would finish your degree remotely through online technologies. This required resourcefulness on your part and on the part of your program and research supervisors. Everyone successfully rose to this challenge, and today you are a proud graduate with new skills and an appreciation for the impact of change on the education and research environments. Your resiliency, adaptability, and compassion will position you well for a changing and evolving job market. As you move forward, share all the knowledge you have gained and the lessons you have learned. Be confident in your skills and competencies, and remember that life is a journey to be lived fully. As alumni, you are joining a global network of support, and we look forward to hearing about and celebrating your future successes. Today I celebrate with you from a distance as I watch each convocation ceremony, applauding loudly as you cross the stage. Heartfelt wishes for a bright and successful future.
Good afternoon, honorable guests, family, friends, esteemed Windsor Law faculty and staff, and my fellow colleagues, the 50th graduating class of Windsor Law. Welcome to Windsor Law's virtual convocation. My name is Tiana Knight, and I have the honor and privilege of giving the class of 2021's valedictory address. I want to thank my peers, the selection committee, and Dean Waters for this great opportunity. I would like to begin by acknowledging the land. The University of Windsor sits on the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwa, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. How have you been transformed by attending Windsor Law? Let's reminisce on a journey that has prepared us for a future whereby we'll be called to action and to make a difference in the lives of others. I want to sincerely and warmly congratulate the class of 2021 for this amazing accomplishment. We did it, Windsor Law class of 2021. Although we cannot celebrate in person today, our tenacity and our resilience in navigating this unprecedented time has not gone unnoticed. Despite the pandemic, let us not forget the momentous occasion that our graduation represents. Who knew that 3 years could go by so fast and that our classrooms in the Ayani Law Building would turn into the Blackboard virtual classroom? Nonetheless, today is our celebration of excellence and the magnitude of our accomplishments. When I think about the graduating class of 2021, what I see is a wide range of brilliant people from diverse backgrounds, experiences, and regions across Canada. For many of us, Windsor Law has been our home away from home. I know that I would not be where I am today without those I have met at Windsor Law. I have shared many laughs, memories, study sessions, and plane rides with them. They have become some of my closest friends. Do you remember first year orientation? We were full of hope, excitement, nerves, curiosity, and we still knew what 8 hours of sleep felt like. We sat in the moot court looking to our left and right at people we didn't know, but whom we would soon be calling friends and colleagues. We heard from Dean Waters, who surprisingly did not have his bike helmet in his hands, Francine, and Professor Kalajic. Francine, whose passion and enthusiasm has not changed since we met her on that August day in 2018. In upper years, some of us would have the great opportunity to learn from Professor Kalajic in her class actions and evidence courses. We have grown so much since that day. During 1L, despite our imposter syndrome and having to relearn studying techniques and feeling out of our comfort zone, we were successful in transitioning into the life of law students. We supported each other as we studied, crammed for exams, and practiced our oral arguments for our first year moots. And of course, the Windsor Law faculty and staff supported us through it all. Professor Mame met with us for the Academic Success Program, upper year students mentored us and provided us with the best resource of all, CANS. Our professors answered our questions during office hours and gave us advice and comfort in times where we felt overwhelmed about what consideration was and how to concisely write a case brief. The Windsor Law administration welcomed us with open arms and fed us delicious food from Mare Nostrum that they left in front of the general office after events. There's also so much that we will miss. Grabbing a hot beverage or tasty Montreal bagel from Amicus Curiae and chatting with the iconic Sandy, or our personal victimization by the infamous and rude Curve that we all know, but thank goodness for the appeals process. Trying to book a study room in the law library during exam season only to find out they're all full, and my personal favorite, receiving 50 emails a day from the administration, half of which are from Francine. I've heard from some of the duals that they will miss Detroit too, the view, the history, and the opportunity to have cross-border experiences. We have accomplished so much throughout 2L and 3L too, and for that, we should be proud. Our robust legal education at Windsor Law and Detroit Mercy has given us the tools to participate in competitive moots, legal clinics, law review, and as research and teaching assistants. We also encouraged and supported one another during taxing 2L and articling recruits. We took to social media to speak out about injustice faced by equity-seeking groups and advocated for social change in ways that only we can. Our voices have not wavered when advocating for the Black, Indigenous, and Asian community. We have fought divisiveness with unity and truth. Although the last year was a reckoning not seen in decades, we have shown that we are a generation of action and change. The two are not mutually exclusive. Carry that into your advocacy. Speak up for what is right, but know that what is right is not always easy. We have all learned from each other and overcome challenging, competitive circumstances to make it here today. As we become the next lawyers entering the profession, we have a professional and moral obligation to treat our clients and our colleagues with respect, dignity, and zeal. After all, to whom much is given, much is expected. Continue to utilize the Windsor Law values of being people-centered, community-engaged, justice-seeking, dynamic, and inclusive to your advantage. Widen your horizons. Look around and see where your degree can fit in to make a difference. We should be looking to make changes to policies, institutions, and systems to make impactful change, to make sure that there is fairness, equity, mentorship, and opportunities in the profession for those law students coming behind us. Show that this is an honorable profession, a helping profession, a profession for justice. Whatever area of law you choose, look for ways that you can help your community and set an example. We all had dreams of becoming lawyers. We've excelled academically, and now we are ready to take it to the next level. There are 232 Windsor Law students graduating today. Regardless of whether we are single or dual JD students, transfer students enrolled in a joint program, LLM or PhD students, part-timers, or took time off at one point or another, we made it. Our grades, LSAT score, personal statement, and experience brought us here. But it is our integrity, compassion, ethics, and advocacy that will sustain us. All the graduates here today are equipped with the fire and passion to serve in the legal profession. Let us be like the ambassador bridge that we always saw when entering or exiting the Ayani Law Building, a strong beacon of hope dedicated to bridging connections through law. We are Windsor Law Proud. We also have a lot to be thankful for. Definitely not the student loans, but everything else, the legal knowledge, mentorship, friendships, memories, and the bonds we have forged. We must also thank our family, friends, and our support systems for all they have done for us throughout our time at Windsor Law. To our loved ones, we appreciate your ongoing commitment to listening to our exuberant law school stories and the unforgettable love and support that you have shown us. To my parents, grandparents, and family, this Juris Doctor degree may have my name on it, but it is yours too, and many of you may feel the same. Enjoy this moment with those closest to you. Thank you immensely to the amazing Windsor Law faculty and staff, career service advisors, librarians, and administration for all your support, inspiration, mentorship, and encouragement. You have given us knowledge that we must now go out and impart to others. We have learned from some of the greatest legal scholars in Canada in areas such as labor law, international law, criminal law, Indigenous legal orders, alternative dispute resolution, business law, and so much more. We could not have done this without you, and we're so grateful for all that you have taught us. Although we are closing this chapter in our legal journey, this is not the end, but the beginning. When I think of great advocates, I don't think of the infamous Annalise Keating and Harvey Specter. I think of us and everything we have brought and will continue to bring to the table. Passion, clinical skills, dedication, and an aptitude for learning. I look forward to seeing you all become the greatest lawyers, scholars, professors, and judges. I know you all are destined to do great things. We are leaders who are going to set an example and shape the future of our profession. And as graduates, we will be a part of each other's personal and professional lives forever. As we leave Windsor Law behind us to enter this new time in our lives, remember, do not remain stagnant, do not be self-satisfied in making so much money that you lose the humanness that makes the law what it is. Success is not defined by money or prestige. Define success for yourself. Fellow graduates, as we continue throughout the legal profession, remember, we are meant to be here. This is our moment, our time, our purpose. Be fearless. We have been armed with the tools and strategies that we need to succeed. We have wrestled with res judicata and the standard of review and made it out relatively unscathed. As we prepare for the solicitor examination, let us look towards 2022, where we can hopefully celebrate our call to the bar together in person. I hope that between studying, tons of reading, and Netflix binges, we all had fun during our time at Windsor Law. Thank you to this amazing graduating class for making my law school experience so wonderful. I'm honored to call you all my colleagues and friends. So I leave you all with this. What transformative mark and footprint will you leave on the world? After all, we are destined for great things beyond our wildest dreams. In the words of former First Lady and fellow lawyer Michelle Obama, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. It is a forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. The journey doesn't end. Congratulations, class of 2021. The best is yet to come. Our future is bright and full of promise. Trust the process, but most of all, trust yourself.
Madam Chancellor, I now present to you the candidates from the Faculty of Law.
Master of Laws, Thomas Oriot. Juris Doctor, Master of Social Work, Hannah Lauren Kellett. Valeria Curry. Alexandra Elizabeth Renders McMichael. Deborah Jasmine Willoughby. Juris Doctor. Samuel Earl Abbott. Tahmid Abdullah. Braden Alexander Adsit. Arathi Angel Ajit. Dina Murad Al-Hubaishi. Azra Alajic. Mallory Elaine Allen. Fatima Noor Amin. Anthony Ishava Anderi. Sarah Nicole Andrews. Darshani Arumagam. Eni Azaslari. Joshua Simon Aziza. Mada Bakhtiari. Gurman Singh Bhati. Lavijat Singh Bular. Jasrup Singh Bilin. Alyssa Christine Boffo. Harleen Kaur Brar. Clayton Reginald Brent. Kelsey Blair Buckmeyer. Alana Rainey Bujaya. Entizar Buker. Visar Bunjaku. Charles Meshach Campbell. Robert Christopher Carnival. Megan Marie Chant. Catherine Cinerari. Robert Solomon Cohen. Keenan Garrett Coombs. Sophia Alexandra Kreporis. Temilolua Pearl de Depo. Mikkel Daniel. Aisha De Silva. Colleen Elizabeth Dermody. Shivani Siraj Desai. Patricia Georgina Demakos. Michael John William Dimitrov. Tanita Radha Devi Doma. Marie Elizabeth Doyle. Janelle Ashley Dundas. Rihanna Ruth Dunphy. Nicholas James Carter Earl. Spencer Allen Farias. Ramisha Farouk. Brandon Joseph Fragameni. Alexander Joseph Friedel. Jocelyn Danielle Fritz. Andrew Krilas Garabedian. David Hebeb George. Aditi Gupta. Musa Jamal Hamadani. Jessica Adaku Hammond. Rachel Lynn Hardy. Braden Lee Harvey. Han Yu He. Quinn Noel Held. Stephanie Hill, Spencer Shue, Graham Paul Horler Hutchings, Daniel Nabil Ibrahim, Sophie Hannah Jackson, Abdul Basit Javid, Kristen Ann Jazvac, Enid Angelica Jofield, Emma Montana Scott Jones, Yujung Jung, Simon Paul Singh Kaint, Hani Asal Karimi, Danielle Arella Carlin, Mansi Kajuria, Muhammad Ahmad Khan, Sarah Khan, Brody Hannah Kirsch, Tiana Knight, Natalie Codsey, Inderveer Kunar, Ian McGregor Lang, Connor Charles Leno, Neelam Salim Lakhani, Sabrina Lau, Jennifer Sophia Lee, Raphael Alexander Lights, Kevin Joseph McNeil, Daniel George McDonald, David Joseph Mancini, Momal Mansour, Thomas Paul James Marco, Nikita Miriam Matthew, Samuel Mazuka, Taya Shireen Makala, Mark McDonald, Zara Rhonda Mercer, Kyle Carmelo Militello, Alisa Merkovic, Najah Hadi Mohammed, Philip Benjamin Moray, Mithya Muragesu, Nadia Javeria Nadim, Andy Fan Win, Syed Ahmad Nizami, Sarah Omer, Bianca Karen Esther Orlin, Gurvinder Parmar, Hillary Dawn Peters, Matthew Morgan Pollock, Todd Brandon Pribanik White, Emily Joanna Patak, Maryam Rajabali, William Robert Raymond, Sayeda Kenat Rizvi, Stephen Michael Robinson, Alicia Ada Roper, Sarah Angela Rosales Zelaya, Shalina Ruda, Lawin Salah, Rachel Samsudar, Tejinderpul Singh Sangera, Lucas Michael Schreider, Arjun Singh Sekon, Ekrup Kaur Sekon, Akil Shah, Faizi Syed Shah, Nicole Shapiro, Tirat Kaur Shugil, Adrin Shojai, Eshani Amrita Singh, Benjamin Michael Sissons, Myra Saratha Sivalaganathan, Sophia Loretta Skara, Mohammed Sultani, Lauren Vera Stokes, Kevin Kwan Singh Zito, Carly Brooke Tarnowski, Sophie Eva Teversham, Danielle Katrina Thomas, Hajar Sarah Tomei, Inderdeep Kaur Tour, Luca Vida, Stephen James Vitella, Sharat Chandra Voleti, Jeremy Wadsworth, Joy Waba, Jonathan Charles Davies Wakelin, Andrew Ian Wiseman, Rachel Ashley Wong, Donya Yaramadi, Rebecca Kileye, Flavia Margaret Zaka, Christopher Li Hong Zhao, Adrian Pasquale Peter Zita Bennett, Juris Doctor Canadian and American Program, Brandon Alexander Adili, Antonio Alcantara Tanganan, Auluna Arbana, Leah Ruth Baxter, Ali Hussein Bazi, Mayank Basin, Amanda Bombin, Braden Kelly Bogner, Elmer Ben Briantes, Stephanie Oye Brown, Stephen Sisto Bruni, Connor Joseph Cleverly, Daniel Cohen, Adrian Adam Cormier, Caroline Jacqueline Cusinato, Stella Michelle D. Billy, Tara Louise DeLuca, Hannah Ariel Dodick, Perla Marina Espinal Monon, Julian Scott Freitag, Lauren Proud, Ashna Gakar, Narmada Gunawardana, Jessica Myra Elizabeth Gutta, Sharzad Hamraz, Tatiana Sasha Teresa Hankenhoff, Jessica Hillary Herbst, Paul Andrew Innocenti, Ruby Joy, Sam Kanlari, Lori Cowley, Daniel Kachuk, Jimmy Kumar, Rebecca Michal Kupfer, Yan Ho Jonathan Leung, Joe Malouf, Nicole Liana Mahadeo, Sabrina Nicole Manjapani, Ryan Stefan Markesic, Philip Laurier Marshall, Ahmad Sami Mazloum, Sydney Dorothy McKibben, Anjani Naidu, Rahil Nasir, Laiba Nawal, Daniel Nishiguchi, Ayat Nizam, Jamie Oleksu, Amelia Cecilia Papineau, Katya Anna Piccoli, Brianna Pierce, Michael Plant, Jarrett Francis Putt, Paniz Radari, Michael Edward Ramsey, Samantha Annie Mae Regier, Jacob Anthony Robinson, Christian Rocca, Henry Cooper Rush, Rakshana Sachithananda Raja, Amanat Sandhu, Gitanjali Priyandarshini Selvam, Fareha Shazad, Ibrahim Shukri, Evan Harris Sinclair, Isabella Soka, Allison Spiegel, Shelley Tam, Tanya Walia, Katie Lauren Warwick, Roscoe Wu, Wendy Jingwen Shu.
Madam Chancellor, we would ask you to confer on the foregoing candidates, whose names have been approved by the Senate, the degrees, certificates, and diplomas to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario and in accordance with the recommendations of the Senate of the University of Windsor, I confer upon these candidates the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
Congratulations, class of 2021. On behalf of the University of Windsor Alumni Association, I'm proud to be offering you this virtual greeting. I'm Ken Alexander, current president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. When you started your studies at the University of Windsor, you surely could not have imagined experiencing convocation in a virtual format. We are living in new and constantly changing times. You are now the leaders who will help all of us navigate those changes in the coming years. Many people will have advice to share with you at this time in your life. Listen, but chart your own course. My advice, do something every day that's important to you. As Steve Jobs said in his famous commencement speech in 2005 to Stanford grads, the only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. You already have the support of 150,000 UWindsor alumni who've graduated before you. Our alumni are doing amazing things around the globe, and now you will carry on this tradition of greatness. Best wishes to you on this very special occasion as you realize the results of your years of hard work. Enjoy it. You've earned it. Remember to keep the Alumni Association updated on all the wonderful things you'll do so we can share in your great successes. Welcome to the University of Windsor Alumni Association family.
On behalf of the entire University of Windsor, I would like to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all of you on the significance of your achievements. And as we celebrate the University of Windsor's class of 2021, we will be officially recognizing the remarkable accomplishments of over 4,400 of our students. I want to first recognize and celebrate the determination, persistence, and dedication you have shown in successfully pursuing your education during these challenging and unprecedented times. I know that your families, your peers, your professors, and other staff at the university have also helped to make this possible. And I could not be more proud of the resilience, teamwork, ingenuity, and grit that all of you have collectively shown. I continue to be humbled by your commitment to each other and to the community that are such hallmarks of this institution. In addition to the challenges of your academic programs, so many of you have engaged in research and services aimed at supporting those around you, and this spirit of generosity makes us all so much stronger together. Graduates, this is one of many milestones you will pass on your lifelong journey, and we are glad to be here to share it with you. All of us who have had the privilege to obtain a university degree remember this day in different ways, sometimes with relief, but always with pride, and nearly always as a turning point. From here, perhaps the next steps will be further study, new employment opportunities, or other new beginnings in new places. No matter your path, remember that you will always be part of this university's past, present, and future. You are ready for what's to come, no matter what. Through your years here, you have built and honed the skills, knowledge, and determination to achieve things you haven't even imagined yet. You will always be part of the Lancer family. I encourage you to get involved with the Alumni Association, a connection to nearly 150,000 alumni around the world. Parents and other family and friends of our graduates, your commitment and continued support have helped to make everything that we celebrate today possible. I know how much pride you all share in your graduates' accomplishments, and I want to personally thank you. Today is also very much your day. Over the past year, we have all thought a great deal about the future in ways that we don't normally have to, about how to plan for the uncertainty around us, what it will be like after we are vaccinated, when we can all fully return to our face-to-face lives, and how these unusual times will shape what comes next. I think it's important, though, to draw from these times a message of hope in the tangible proof that we can adapt and change and help each other in order to succeed. That we can envision and enact solutions to the challenges that come our way, large and small, and that these solutions can be the basis of true progress. The future really is yours to shape. Change is yours to make. Be bold and be kind. And remember that all of us at the University of Windsor will have you in our thoughts in the days, months, and years ahead. In one simple word, congratulations. Stay safe and stay well. Today is your day. Enjoy it.
I now declare the 115th Convocation of the University of Windsor closed.